With you is wrong with me, and once right.
Guess what after that?
And right after, American Idol winner Taylor Hicks. Taylor.
You awake now?
Good morning.
Time for our Water Cooler Buzz special musical superstar edition.
Yeah.
Hello, the very lovely Mark, the beautiful Jessica, the gorgeous Michaela.
Why, thank you.
TV Sam Rubin, and Taylor Hicks.
Taylor Hicks.
Here's the deal. At Taylor's own insistence, and against the advice of several professionals, joining us, Gail.
I've heard about this. I was a little apprehensive.
Yeah, I bet you were.
But you said, let me have the water cooler buzz.
Let me do this thing.
And Gail Anderson is with us as well, so we say good morning to Gail, too.
Morning, Gail.
And,
right here.
There she is.
Bad seed.
Bad seed, right here.
And TV's Eric Spillman is in downtown Los
Also a
Angeles.
bad seed.
Also a bad seed in his own way. Eric riding a Vespa, but you can't quite see it. All right, among his many talents, Taylor... a songwriter, too. And this song from Taylor's brand new CD, oddly enough, here's the CD called The Distance.
Oh, yeah, we're playing it.
We're going to play it now.
We're so multimedia.
Listen up to this. We're going to play you a snippet of it.
Okay.
As it will.
Her daddy had the money, all the milk and honey. She never had to pay any dues. Don't know what her name is, but man, she sure is famous. She keeps herself all over the news. They're paying close attention. The new Inside Edition is feeding all they can to her fans. She's got the paparazzi behind her Maserati. They're snapping off as much
All right,
as they
so
can.
you're in essence, this is an homage to Paris and Kim Kardashian and people like that.
Well, yeah, it's interestingly enough, the perspective is that, you know, it's my tongue-in-cheek version of what popular culture is, you know. And I'm in it, so I can actually, you know, I can actually poke fun if you're, you know, if you actually experience it, which is kind of fun.
Well, let me ask you this, because the fact is, I mean, you're the real deal. You're the genuine article, which I think is very impressive. But if you started dating Kim Kardashian, let's just say, that would frankly get you more headlines than the music you make, wouldn't it?
Nowadays, it seems like that, doesn't it? You know, but you know, I let the music speak for itself. You know, ultimately, this is a marathon for my career, not a sprint.
Now, since it is a marathon, I'm concerned as your trainer about your longevity here, because you know, you could be starting out a whole West Coast, East Coast, Southern, Northern like rivalry thing. We know how that went in hip hop.
Throwing up signs and stuff.
Suddenly Kim Kardashian's going to cut a tune and calling you out. But here's the thing, because I imagine some people feel this way, and we can certainly hear from Eric and Gail as well. I think it is upsetting to some people that, and you know, they're nice people and they are hardworking, but Paris or Kim have no discernible talent per se, and they're famous, and it's like there's only this pool of resources to pay talented people, and they're taking money out of that pool for what?
Yeah.
You know who was
Is it because they're hot?
original and remember, and I don't know, but somebody financed her. She used to have those billboards.
Angeline.
And she was the original. Who was she? What did she do?
Yeah.
But there she was on billboards.
But she was always kind of in her own weird spot.
Yeah.
And now you have the fact is, here's a show that somebody doesn't have because Kim Kardashian has a show.
But it was reality TV, don't you think? Because before reality TV, which was only about, what, 7, 8 years ago, you could only be as famous as, you know, I don't know, stumbling out of a bar, but now you can get a show and everybody knows your family and everybody
knows. Is part of your point that you were talking about the fact that you spent a lot of time on, what did you call it? I don't want to call it that.
Roadhouses.
Roadhouse. We'll just go with that. The roadhouses.
The Chitlin circuit.
Right, the
Chitlin circuit.
And you probably know a bunch of really fiercely talented artists and musicians that the people in the area know, but rest of America doesn't know. Is part of this born out of the frustration that those people don't get heard?
A little bit, yeah. You know, it's amazing that you can walk down the street right now in LA and find some of the best musicians in the world. And even you can do that in Atlanta, you can do that in New York. And, you know, it is tough, because I have been on the other side of being a performer and someone that's unknown and trying to make it. And, you know, luckily for me, I got to that point and found that opportunity. And
would you have made it without Idol, do you think?
You know, I would have been comfortable performing music, I believe, but the Idol experience has allowed me to get my music. I did a tour of Southeast Asia last December, so it's like those kinds of things that you
don't happen from the Chitlin tour.
No, they don't. They, you know, touring the South and stuff. I mean, gradually working in clubs and stuff, you know, over an extended amount of time, which could be 25, 30 years, you could build that fan base up. But to have Idol, you know, the exposure.
You're not the typical sort of Idol winner. If you look at I mean, as you kept on going and climbing, and you know, and there was that whole Soul Patrol thing going on. I mean, were you like Sam says, pinch yourself moments?
I did. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I still find myself in unreal situations. You know, which is, I mean, I'm blessed to have that opportunity to be able to have fans and
Gail Anderson is out there at the track. Gail, what do you want to say?
Yeah, my question is understanding what we're talking about here, that there are lots of people. When I first moved out here, I would ride the bus to work, and there would be people on the bus, very talented screenwriters, actors, couldn't get a break. But my question is, what made you stay in the game and not give up? Because I would think what Mark was trying to say is you're a little older than most idols, and I love it, late bloomers, whatever you want to call it. What kept you from saying, you know what, I can't get a break, I give up, my hair's gray, they're never going to give me a shot?
Your salt and pepper, by the way, right, Gail? You love that?
Yes.
I've got the salt and pepper kicking, that's for sure. I had the belief that I was supposed to entertain people. You know, even from an early age, you know, I sat out on the road about 16 or 17 years old, and I really didn't look back. I kept playing, performing. Okay. I never gave up, and I think persistence is key in the business, especially when you're trying to make it. I mean, we all know that you have to knock down doors. You were talking about Ryan Seacrest at some point in time. I mean, he didn't leave you guys alone to come on the show at some point.
Look at him now.
Sam piggybacked on Sam.
Look at him now.
And then there you go.
The footprints are right here. It's scary. It's right.
But then there's a certain amount of that is, you know, your destiny too. I mean, I don't know what your personal belief system is, but I think there's a lot of people that sort of believe if it's meant to be, you know, those opportunities are going to. I'll be so blessed.
I was one of the last cab rides out of New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina.
Really?
Wow. I drove 12 and a half hours of contraflow traffic. Southwest Airlines gave me a free ticket anywhere in the continental United States. I'd never been to Las Vegas before. I went to Las Vegas. At midnight, my brother called me and said, Idol tryouts are in the morning, and I walked in and won.
Dude, okay.
Here.
I'm saying, if you don't believe in fate, that is a story right there.
And you know when they say, I love the line they say, you know, when they say with people, luck. And you know, there's a line that goes, luck is where opportunity meets preparedness. And that's exactly there. You made it yourself.
You were ready. If you hadn't been ready and hadn't been playing on the Chitlin tour, as you said, for all that time, you wouldn't have been ready to accept that challenge. Yeah, and there you go.
But you know what's so funny now, relating back to the song, that chilled me out too. That really chilled me out. Is this idea, when you talk to kids today, it's like, what do you want to be? Oh, I don't want to be a heart surgeon. I don't want to be a pop star. I want to be famous.
I want to be famous.
It's the notion of being famous as opposed to famous for what?
But are you willing to work at it?
Or do you have the chops to work at it?
Now, what is in store for you? What you know? We know your past. Where would you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, you know what's interesting is I see myself as an entertainer, and what encompasses that and the aspects of, because now I actually did Broadway in Greece this past summer. So the Broadway act, you know, the gig has allowed me to get into you know, a little bit of acting, and you know, I still have the music. Obviously, that's where my core is.
Taylor, can we hear a little Grease?
Hey, I just want to say something.
Go Eric. Eric, who also
considers
himself a bit of an entertainer.
Yes, he's a bit of an entertainer, yes.
Totally. I just want to applaud Taylor, I mean, because, you know, he sang that song about keeping it real, and he mentioned those other people. It seems like, despite his own popularity and his success, he has managed to keep it real. And, you know, how difficult has that been for him? That would be my question.
Well, yeah, it is interesting. You know, you have this, you know, monster that is celebrity, and then you have the artist that you try to massage as well. So when you try to play both, you have to really play it close to the best, and you do have to, you know, keep it real, so to speak, to be able to, you know, I mean, ultimately the art outlasts the celebrity. I mean, if you have the art and you write great music, you perform every night like I have, All the rest will take care of itself.
Taylor and his band across the way in just a minute.
And we're going to continue this conversation online. You can go to our poll, ktla.com/poll, and also follow us and tell us who you follow, whose careers you follow on Twitter, of course, KTLA Morning Show.
Thanks
Coming
for
up.
having me on the buzz.
It's been so glad you buzzed well. Good buzzer.
Really good. Very
He
good.
buzzed well.
He buzzed.
Yeah.
He did. I like it. We should just call it the buzz from now. Coming up, Paula Abdul, an old friend, joins us live to talk about her latest gig.
And from American Idol judge to American Idol heartthrob, that's you. Taylor Hicks is here to perform his first single off his latest album.
When there's trouble in your life, I feel it. What's